Sometimes growth doesn't look like a big breakthrough. Sometimes it looks like a small shift in how you speak to people and how you speak to yourself. A lot of us were taught to lead with apology, to explain ourselves, to soften our presence before we even take up space. We apologize for being late. We apologize for asking questions. We apologize for needing time. We apologize for existing in ways that aren't perfectly convenient. And after a while, that pattern becomes automatic. We don't even think about it anymore. But here's something worth sitting with. Not everything needs an explanation. Not everything needs to be justified. And not every moment requires you to shrink yourself just to keep the peace. There's a difference between accountability and self-shrinking. One is respectful, the other quietly trains you to believe you're always the problem. When you constantly lead with apology, your nervous system stays in a defensive position. You're always bracing, always assuming you've done something wrong, always preparing to be judged. And over time, that mindset shapes how you see yourself. What if, instead of centering everything around what you did wrong, you started centering what you value? Respect, connection, gratitude, presence. Those are very different places to speak from. Because the truth is, most situations aren't about fault. They're about interaction. They're about shared moments, shared time, shared humanity. When you acknowledge someone without putting yourself beneath them, the energy changes. The conversation softens. You soften. This isn't about pretending mistakes don't happen. It's about recognizing that your worth doesn't disappear the moment something goes slightly off schedule or imperfect. You're allowed to arrive as a whole person, not as a constant apology. And this shift isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself when no one is around. When you stop seeing yourself as a burden, something powerful happens internally. You stand a little straighter. Your voice steadies. You feel less rushed, less small, less like you need permission to just exist. This kind of change doesn't require confidence. It creates confidence. Because confidence isn't loud. It's calm. It's grounded. It's knowing you don't have to over-explain yourself. And here's something important. People respond to the energy you bring more than the words you choose. When you speak from appreciation instead of self-blame, people feel it. They relax. They meet you where you are. You're not asking for grace. You're offering respect. That's a very different situation. And it applies beyond conversations with others. It applies to how you treat yourself internally. How often do you mentally get mad with yourself for needing rest, for taking time, for not being perfect? What if that inner dialogue shifted too? What if you stopped replaying everything you think you did wrong and started recognizing what you showed up for? You made the effort. You came back. You tried again. You didn't give up on yourself. That matters. This kind of mindset doesn't make you careless. It makes you present. It teaches you to move through life without constantly punishing yourself for just being you. And over time, that changes how safe you feel in your own body, how open you are to connection, how willing you are to grow. Because growth doesn't come from shame. It comes from self-respect. So if today feels a little heavy, if you're thinking about past conversations, if you're judging yourself for small things, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself where you're placing the focus. Ask yourself whether you're shrinking or standing in your values. You don't need to change your entire personality. You don't need to become someone new. Sometimes growth is just choosing a kinder lens, a steadier tone, a more grounded way of showing up. And that shift, quiet as it is, changes everything. Together, let's move from doubt to power, one story at a time.